Could you get a quick lesson before going to bed? I mean, sure. Do you have a question? I got you. What do you need? You need to improvise over the chicken. It's a weird song, in your opinion. But, okay, cool. I think I've got the kind of vibe of this. I like having a bit of distortion because it sounds cool. No, whatever. We'll keep it clean. Oscar, what up? Yo, congratulations with the So basically, you need to figure out when you're jamming, especially in like things like this. This is the hack. This is the Luan hack. Okay, so this is not what a jazz professor is going to tell you what to do. Jazz professor is going to be like, learn all the changes and know all your chord scales and all the triads. But my trick is to figure out how can I play a blues pentatonic without sounding like shit. All right, I sat there on the B flat. And then the E flat. Or whatever it is. I'm just guessing everything. So we're gonna groove over it, so it's B flat, a B flat section, and then the E flat. I'm still playing the B flat pentatonic, and then the D. I'm still playing in the D pentatonic there, over the G chord. And then I'm just going down 2 steps to the C. I don't know. Does that help? So that's how I would do it. It's the same. It's the same, Simon. So it's D blues. So D blues is your minor pentatonic. And then all you're going to do is you're going to add in a couple of major notes. Something like that. And then that will make it sound majory. And because when you hit that G, right? So if you're playing in D pentatonic, right? When you hit that G, they're all notes in the D pentatonic. So, but if you want to articulate it correctly, make sure you hit this note here on the 12th fret on the B string when you hit the G, because that's the third of the G, and it's going to sound like you know what you're doing. So if you got that. And if you ever get stuck, always pick thirds. If you hit the third of the chord, people will think you know what you're doing. And that's how I cheat everything. And it usually sounds kind of clean. So then on that C7, if they're doing like C7 there, you've got that. And then they go. This is a pretty cool song though. And you know what's the coolest thing is this is my bass player's favorite bass player. So maybe now the band has to start playing this song. Like, a lot of people try to be like, what's all of the stuff? Yeah. That's how I do it. There's no fancy thing. At Berkeley or like at any of these colleges, they're always like, they want to give you the education, which is fine, but it's music. Like, these guys that are jamming, they're not, like, once you know that, okay, I can play in B flat here and we're going to vibe, and I play in D7, like I play B flat blues here, and then I play D blues there over the D over the G, and then I sit in C, you know, then I'm Gucci, and then you move back to your B flat, and then life is good. So like that's a lot more simple compared to what people would be like, all right, now we've got our B7, make sure you practice your arpeggio. Yes, nice. And now when we get that E7, yep, that's great. All right, good job. Now from the E7, you need to find a connection to that D7, and then we need to sneak in that G7, and then you need to sneak over that that C7, and then you can come back to the head. And then usually when you're improvising over that, you're like, and then, like, how many times have you heard guitarists at like your jazz schools try and play solos like that? I'm sounding exactly like your professor? Yeah, because your professor sucks. No, I love them. I have like nothing but respect. But that process of like learning how to do solos, that lens that they put you through, is a lens that requires so much time. So it means that you need to sit there practicing your arpeggios for like 30 minutes to an hour a day. You need to be practicing, you know, your chord scales for 30 minutes to an hour a day through all keys. You need to be playing like the changes over and over again. And it sounds mechanical. Whereas, like, you want to play music. And like majority of people don't think that way. And usually the guy who is educating, you got to always look at like who's the person teaching it and like what do you want to get out of them. Because if you look at Jaco, right, and you look at any musician that Jaco would play with, and all the people that you're hearing on the recording, all the people on that recording would play 5 to 10 hours a day, minimum. Like, there's no way they're doing less than 5 hours a day of playing. They are that good, and all they do, they pick up their instrument, they just live, breathe, and all they want to do is play their instrument. You guys are not like that. I'm not like that. That's not a bad thing. That just means that there's a screw loose in those people. Like, we like other things. Like, I enjoy playing Zelda or Pokemon and hanging out with my wife and my kids. They don't care about that. Like, their sole purpose is like, can I get these changes perfect? How can I, like, they're just like obsessed with the music, and that's totally fine. That's how their brain works. So if we try to replicate the way that they approach music, you're going to fail every single time because you don't have that screw loose to be like, I'm going to sit here for like 5 to 6 hours and just work through chord scales. Like, you just don't have that. So if you don't have that, then you need to find a different way to be able to fit inside their space and do your thing. And so that's how I approach things. I'm like, okay, well, I like what they're doing there. How can we extract stuff? Well, I'm going to listen to the boom, doom, boom, boom, boom. So if I'm just grooving and bum, I don't know what the melody is, but that was like a key rhythm that I was hearing. So if I'm hearing that rhythm and I'm going to improvise over it, I get my chord structure, my scales ready. This is like the cheat way to do it. I get my scales ready. I'm like, okay, cool. We're grooving in the B flat here, and then I got my D, and then over the C chord, I'm going this. And so I'm like, okay, we're vibing. I've got my 3 pentatonic spaces. And now all I need to do is lock in on the groove. So you see what I mean? I listen to the groove of what the main melody's doing, and I listen to the groove of what the bass is doing and what the band's kind of like fitting in, and then you just play your pentatonic groove, your the same pentatonic frameworks that you crush every song. You just play those notes, but to the rhythms of the song. And now you've locked in, and it sounds good. Like, no one's going to go up to you and be like, dude, you suck. Or that sounds like crap. You need to practice. Like, they're going to be like, nice. That was a vibe. And when you're in a band, the most important thing is it needs to be listenable and a vibe. Because if you're performing, like say I was performing in a band and we were performing that song and they're like, yo, dude, take it away. And I'm like, I did that. They wouldn't be mad. They'd be like, sick. That sounds cool. I mean, do I sound like Jaco or any like session musician that he would hire? No. Those sax players are monsters, you know, and like that's totally fine. We don't need to be like those people, but close enough's good enough in those scenarios. Whereas, like, until you are ready to do 6 to 10 hours a day of shred practice, then don't put your practice in that box. Because, like I said, those professors, they are very good at doing what they do, and they're going to show you how they did it, which is fair because why would they teach you any other way? Now I'm showing you how I do it, because I had to figure out a way to fit in those circles and not fuck up. And yeah, that's how I managed it. Because every time I tried to do it their way, I was like, dude, this is killing me, man. It's a full-time job trying to figure out chord scales. 6 to 7 hours a day. Yeah, like Oscar said, I'd rather be practicing singing all day. It's like, what's the trade? You could, like you just saw me do, it took me 15 minutes to figure out how to groove over that. Anytime someone pulls up that song in front of me, I will crush that song. It took me 50 minutes. 15 minutes. You know? That's like, I was going to say, yeah, it's like 6 minutes plus 7 plus, I don't know my math. Is that 2 or 3?